play the role of Paris in our upcoming film, The Golden Dragonfly. On and off about 3 years, I would say. I always had this passion for it. I always had something telling me, like, I knew this is what I was supposed to do. And I think as we grow and become adults, you know, we have those things in our mind that we needed to do other things, be more responsible, or something that's more steady, things like that. But it never left me. And no matter what I did, God would put it in my face, which is kind of how I got into working on this film. I really love anything that makes an impact. Action is definitely my passion. I've always wanted to do action, and it was really great on this film. I got to do stage combat and things like that. But I definitely would say action film, dramas, anything with a story that's going to create impact. Funny story. I was just a part of a Facebook group, which I don't really get on Facebook much, to be honest, and I saw the post, and I'm a very big safety girl, so this is not like me. I saw the post, and I just felt like God was like, I want you to support this film, and I didn't really know at the time exactly what that meant. And I remember being like, I'm going to go meet people that I don't know in the city at night, not me at all. But God just gave me this piece about it, and it wouldn't leave me, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to reach out to them. And we talked on the phone, and I was originally just supposed to be, I believe, like an extra, one of the models or something like that, and it just kind of stemmed from there into having a role in the film. So it was really great when we met. It was very cold. I think it was January, maybe. I don't know. It was very cold and windy, and I remember just having the best time. Like, none of that mattered. You know, we all just clicked and had such a good time. And when you're doing what you love, there's always joy in it. So it was really great. I had a great experience filming, and I think as actors, we hope, you know, you have that connection with your director and, you know, with your crew, and we really did have that. And the fact that you're also the writer, you know, that is your baby, and it's, you know, we want to bring that to life, and we were able to, you know, and I ask a lot of questions. I'm like, am I sarcastic mad, or am I, you know, different things like that. So very patient with me, Winston was on that one. But I just loved the vibe of the crew and all of those things. And, you know, as actors, you know, we bring the characters to life, but they still have to align, you know, with the director's vision, the writer's vision, and I felt like that all flowed so well on set. Another thing that was new for at least me, which I ended up really loving, we didn't get a go home and read this script. It was very much in the moment, line by line. It came so much more naturally, and I was at first so a little intimidated by it, I would say, but it ended up flowing beautifully. And also there's the vibe of the crew was always amazing. We just had a blast the entire time, and learning, you know, stage combat or doing stunts and all these things were just really great learning experience, but just, again, the crew really made it everything. I would have to say the stage combat was really fun, cool experience, and just learning the different stunts and having, you know, a great crew with the background, them kind of taking me under their wing was something I'm really grateful for. And one of the first things that I felt really helped me and I needed to address is who I am as an actress. And that might sound a little odd to people because, like, well, you play all these different things, but there's a way to make it your own and bring that character to life in your own way. They're all little pieces of who we are. They're different sides. So kind of really honing in on that.
So a degree, and this is for a lot of people in the film actually, and this is a blessing for sure in my opinion. It was like we were friends that just reunited.
Yes,
you know,
definitely.
friends reunited. It's always a blessing. It's always great to have that feeling with someone, you know. Because I have worked with people that it's been difficult, not only in regular jobs, but even in the media arts, you know, and on different projects, in a variety of ways. I've even acted in plays myself before, okay, different things like that. And even though you may say, well, everyone's happy to be there, but there are still times where things can clash, you know, for sure. And sometimes people can be like, I just want to get this over with, you know. And I didn't know what to expect from Paris, from Corrianna at all.
He didn't know for me from like a hole in the wall.
Yeah, because I saw her online.
He thought it was a fake.
Thank you. I was about to say that. Yeah, I actually thought it was some kind of scam. She retold, because I was like, she has these model pictures and stuff, and then she's like on a car and stuff, and she's doing. I'm like, I mean, this stuff look professional, guys. I'm like, is this a scam? So I was kind of texting her back like, yeah, you know, come through when you can, you know, yeah, check us out. I wasn't 100% sure how this was going to turn out, and me personally, I didn't want to be like, you know, let's meet in a dark alley somewhere. And then she said, I'll be there. And then all of a sudden I get robbed. You know, I didn't want anything like that to happen.
So I thought I was going to get murdered originally, and he thought he was going to get robbed.
Yeah, so I said, yeah, and then she does have weapons and stuff, guys. So I was like, I don't want any of her to try to pull them out on me. You know what I mean? We actually talked about her using their weapons. That's a whole other thing. But it's part of the movie process.
Yeah, everything just really came together so beautifully. And
I mean, be honest now. You don't have to lie. You don't have to embellish.
I'm not lying.
Okay, she's not lying.
It really did. I would tell you. You'll learn that about me. I would tell you. I think you should know that by now, right?
I know, but do they know? Does the audience know? That's what matters the most.
Yeah, no. It's, you know, when you're doing what you love and doing it with great people, and nothing really, you know what I mean? What can go wrong? It was really a great learning experience. I loved it.
Yeah, I would say that where we were filming it, she had to travel quite a distance, okay? And yeah, like she said, there was a scene where she had to wear some big platform boots, and I'm sure they weren't feeling that great, guys. And I think I even told her, I said, you know, you can switch your sneakers into your more comfortable sneakers if you want to at times. She said, oh, that's okay. And we had scenes where she's just like sitting against the wall or just different things like that. There were scenes. Let me ask you this, Paris. Let me ask you this. There were scenes where we had you doing certain things, and there was some on-site training.
Yeah.
For
rather quickly, yeah.
Like there's a scene where she has to kind of be thrown against the wall, for example, okay? Because she has a bunch of fight scenes in the movie, and
it was fun. It sounds bad. It was actually fun.
And I remember that, yeah, for sure. And I remember that there was a scene that when I got the footage and everything. The way that she performed something could have been better, and it was not her fault. It was the fault of, we had a lot going on that day. I think I wasn't really paying enough attention to how she was going back on this wall, because she was being pushed against the wall. And thank God our fight choreographers, Pedro, okay, and Aaron, they helped with that. Now, and she did a great job of changing it, because to me it was a huge difference how it looked. Yeah. So how was that? Just kind of switching up. How do you feel about that?
You know me, I will do it 100 times until it's the way it needs to be. So no, that was a great learning experience too, and it did look better in being able to get that different perspective from people that are really trained, you know, fighters, to really kind of show you and how to fall, and how to you know, make sure your timing is on point with, you know, with this push, make sure we're hitting at this second, and having all those things was a great learning experience. And I was really, really thankful to the guys. They taught me a lot of cool stuff.
Talk to.